Pretty incredible, right? Did you see how when he chose to take a risk on himself because she believed in him, you could tell from the moment they got on that stage, she was pushing him and pulling him to come up there with him to do it. And even Simon was like, oh my God. All right, this guy doesn't have the appearance. He's not what we're looking for. I don't know how this is going to work. And the moment he started singing and took that risk on himself, the entire demeanor of the judges there and the entire theater changed.
I didn't get that.
Because he took that risk on himself. Because Charlotte pushed him out of his comfort zone. Charlotte was essentially that coach right there that was saying, hey, you know what? I love you, Jonathan. And there's so much more that you can do. Let's just take a risk together. Let's get out of our comfort zone today to make something happen. And by doing that, I mean, at the end, Simon said, I think that guy could be the next Pavarotti. That's pretty big words for a guy who's extremely skeptical for like literally every person he's ever judged in history. I don't know if you guys remember watching American Idol back in the day when he was on it, but he was pretty brutal. He's actually tamed down a little bit as he's gotten a little bit older, but it was pretty brutal. So I wanted to share that with you today because number one, that thing inspires the heck out of me when I go and watch it, because of just the music. I'm a musician, and the story of those two people coming together to push each other to do something great. Now, I've talked about 1% better a few times, but there's four things that I really want to hit on this morning as we talk about getting 1% better. We've mentioned the philosophy of 1% better, which is actually a Japanese philosophy that dates back thousands and thousands of years, called Kaizen, which is essentially getting just a little bit better every single day. And I want to give you the 4 steps that you could implement today to get just a little bit better. We've talked about it. Now we're going to talk about a process, a simple process that you can put in place to get a little bit better every single day. Number 1, set daily goals. Set daily goals. You know what? Make them small, achievable goals for yourself every single day. It can be something as simple as making 1 extra care call, or reading a page or a chapter out of a book that's going to help you grow. Because those are really simple, they're tangible, and you can track them. That way you can see the progress that you've made along the way. So set daily goals. That's number 1. Number 2, reflect on your progress. Take time at the end of every single day to see where you started and see what you've accomplished. You know, in Bold and in so many other classes, we talk about journaling. And here's one of my journals right here that I use a lot. As a matter of fact, back here on the shelf behind me, I've got a ton of journals that are all full. Journaling is important because it allows you to go back to a specific date and reflect on where you were at that point in time, what you were feeling, what you were thinking, what you had accomplished. So that then over time, this 1% philosophy of getting a little bit better every single day, you can go and see the progress that you've made. You can look back and say, oh my God, I can't believe that I was thinking that. What was I thinking at that point in time? Why would I even have that thought? Because I clearly have gotten so much better over time, but it allows you to see your progress. And you can go to a specific date. I mean, this one starts all the way back in 2017. This is an older one that I pulled off the shelf, but all the way back in 2017, I look at it and see some of those things that I was thinking, and I kind of scratched my head this morning and thought, well, that was interesting that I was thinking that. If I could only tell myself as I am now, back then, go and speak to myself and say, hey, you know what? You don't need to have that thought. Here's what life looks like 6 years from now. It's 2023. So 6 years from now, here's what that looks like for you. Number 3, learn from others. Learn from others. Surround yourself with people who inspire you and motivate you. Learn from their experiences and apply what you've learned to your own business. You know the saying, don't recreate the wheel. There's a reason for it. Because people have come before you and done things before you. You don't need to go and figure it all out over again. Use the experiences from others, use the lessons that they have learned to allow you to propel yourself further, faster. One of the questions that I love as a real estate agent going to with new agents going and speaking with experienced agents who have been in the business for a while is, what's one thing that you would have done differently as soon as you got started that would have allowed you to go further, faster? And if we go back and look at that video that we watched this morning, I think it would be clear to say that Jonathan surrounded himself with somebody who was going to believe in him and motivate him and inspire him. And in those moments where you don't have that, I've mentioned before, on your phone, have a quote section where you've screenshotted quotes, have videos that you can go to that inspire you. That video that I showed you this morning, that's one of the videos that I go to when I need inspiration, when I need motivation, when I need to feel inspired. And then the fourth thing here is stay consistent. Stay consistent. Consistency is key. Write this down. It's not what you do occasionally, it's what you do consistently that matters most. It's not what you do occasionally, it's what you do consistently. Well, what in the world does that mean? Well, if you occasionally do something, you'll occasionally see results. Occasionally. If you consistently do something, you'll consistently see results. I don't know about you, but I don't like being on the business roller coaster where I'm occasionally seeing success and occasionally seeing results. I like to be on the sustained success and sustained results. And I know, as a matter of fact, my family likes that as well, because my success determines their success. My success determines their future as well. My success determines what our lives look like. So it's not what you do occasionally, it's what you do consistently. Consistency is key. Make a commitment to yourself to be 1% better every single day and stick to it. You know what? It's not going to seem like much at the beginning, but over time, if you continue to go back and reflect on that, you will really see the difference that has been made in your life. Think about it like working out or going to the gym. Do you see those results right away? No. Do you feel the results of the actions that you've taken right away? Heck yes, you do. But guess what? You don't see them right away, which is why so many people give up, because they're feeling like something's going on, but then they look in the mirror and say, I just don't see it. I don't think it's working. Do you know how many weeks it takes for you to see yourself changing? It can take like 11 weeks for you to see yourself changing. Now, interestingly enough, it only takes about 4 to 6 weeks for other people to see you changing. Why is that? Because you're looking at yourself every single day, and you're not seeing that 1% better until it becomes 10% better, because those small gradual changes to you, they're not going to stick out. But to others who aren't seeing you every single day, 6 weeks into it, they're looking at you saying, oh my gosh, what have you done? You look great. What are you doing? You're like, well, I don't feel any different. Yeah, my shirts are a little bit looser or whatever it is, but I don't really feel a whole lot different. And then like 11 weeks into it, you're looking at yourself saying, okay, maybe it is working. But you can only get there if you've been consistent. Now I use working out as an example because it goes across all businesses, and it goes across all things. But for your business, what is that one place you need to be 1% better in that 11 weeks from now, we're looking at it and saying, oh my gosh, look at what we've done in our business. So what are you taking away from our conversation today?
Two things stuck out to me. Set daily goals, but I want to really focus on the stay consistent portion, and just me starting to track the number of calls or appointments that I've gone on. I'm specifically dealing with FISBOs. And then yesterday, in reflecting on the process in the last 2 weeks, I want to say it was a total of 5 that have actually gone active.
Okay.
And instead of me like down on myself, like I didn't get hired for that job or whatever, it's just saying, look how many opportunities you were in front of. So
Yeah.
just create more opportunities. But I only saw that because I first started tracking and then going back to reflect on the progress, which is number 2. So thank you.
My pleasure. Yeah. Tracking and looking at the progress is so important, because if you don't go back and celebrate the wins you've had along the way, you'll feel like you're losing, even though you're actually winning.
Well, what
Scott.
was interesting, good morning. What was interesting for me this morning, what you were saying about how people see changes in you sooner than you see changes in yourself. I mean, it's the epitome of living with someone, how you live with yourself. And people are harsh critics of themselves as well. However, it's the positive and negative 1%, right? That tracks over time as well, because I'll go to my parents. I haven't seen them for like 3 weeks, and I could get a comment like, hey, you look good, or, you look different. It depends on which proportion they're looking at, or attitude or otherwise. So it goes in either direction. And if you choose not to go in a positive direction, just stagnancy and potentially 1% or even 0.5% of negative can get you on the wrong track. As I was going over with my coach this yesterday during my mastery call, we were assessing the pipeline and the now business that I have, and it had nothing to do with what I did last week. It had everything to do with what I did back in August and stayed with it in September and even November and December.
Exactly. It was the time you put in before that's giving you the results now, which is why we always say, keep your foot on the pedal, even when you're busy as heck. Find somebody like Trevor right here on the call to leverage the stuff that you get busy with, that 80%, so that you can keep your foot on the pedal, keep the opportunities coming, so that you don't get at a place where you're like, okay, what do I do next? And then you have to go and restart. And now you're restarting for 90 days from now. We don't want that to happen. All right. Anyone else? All right. Well, I appreciate every single one of you for being on our call today. And as always, just like Jonathan and Charlotte, choose today to get a little bit more uncomfortable so that you can have everything you've always wanted in your life. I appreciate you guys for being here. Have an amazing day. And I look forward to seeing you on Monday. Enjoy your weekend, everyone. Bye.